Time to put this thing into overdrive. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And it is time. Finally got the parts in so that we can put some overdrive into the Dementor SS. Finally. So that we can start seeing what this thing can really do now. And then it's all about just trying to maybe figure out maybe a better place for the battery to get some more weight forward and get this thing to really rocking. And maybe I won't have to. Maybe putting the overdrive in there is going to help just that much to get this thing to going and to be set and ready to go. I got a different tranny in at the same time. And so let me get you guys positioned so that you can see what I got going on here. And I'll show you here in a minute the transmission. It is a Muse transmission that I put in there also, the metal geared Muse transmission, the aluminum machine transmission. The motor plate that comes on that one does not accept the brushless motor system, so I had to use the Furatech motor plate and all that and put on there. Beautiful. Everything lined up. Fantastic. Had to do a little mod to the chassis, but hey, that's what this is all about. So, the only thing that's left of this SEX24 axial product is the Betty body. That's the only axial thing on this whole car anymore. It's just the Betty body, and there's not much left of that either because I cut it up pretty good. So let me get you guys pre-positioned here, and we'll get going, and I'll show you what we're doing here for switching these gears out. Made me a little funky little apparatus here. Screwed it to my handrail for my steps and stuck up here. So we're going to see how this works. If it's going to work out okay. So we got all that pretty far away there. So let's get this out the way. And then we'll get you guys repositioned. See how much closer we can get. There we go. Ooh, get a little haze down there from the plywood because it's right next to the cameras. There we go. That's better. I have to reposition that screw now. So, if I do that, you guys are going to go out of the picture. You guys got to stay in the picture. So I'm going to have to probably jack that screw just a little bit more. Okay, I see what I'm having to do. And then we're going to be running into balancing issues. So, let me get this turned into about 5 times 5 there. Get you guys turned over here. And hopefully my hands don't get in the way of what we're about to do. Got the Muse overdrives ready to put in there. And I took the stock one apart so I can show you the difference between the gears, so that the reason why you can't just swap the gears out from the stock one to this one with these isokinetic axles, because the way that they work in here, it's got that double joint. And I didn't really know, I was thinking that because the gear is thicker, it's pulling on the axle. But I was thinking that it was pulling on it when it turned. No, you see it pulls out when it goes to straight. It pushes it in when you get into like full lock, and then it pulls out. So there's not enough material on these guys on the side here to do that. It'll pull the axle completely out, and then you lose drive. So when they did their gears, they made that edge thicker, and Well, we'll just get in here and get this sucker cut open. Now that I know where I need to be, it's right over where the axles are. You can see the difference between the two, the thickness here. See how much thicker that is than that, to give you more axle room in there, so it'll actually holds onto your axle, so it'll drive. So with that, let's dig into this axle and see what we got going in here. Get the little O-rings out of there. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take the knuckles off and just pull the see it's got a little brass sleeve there. We'll leave that with its screw. See if this one will come out with it also. Nope, that one doesn't want to come out with it. There we go. Now, I'd already taken the axle out just so that you wouldn't have the agony of sitting there watching me yank this out from underneath the car too, so it's not going to take as long for the video. I wanted to keep it fairly short, but we'll see how long it takes to do this, because it is tiny stuff. And I don't exactly have the right glasses on for these. I don't have my far away glasses on. So hopefully I can do this without. There we go. The nice thing is all the screws have the same head. So that makes it a heck of a lot nicer to get everything apart. Get this cover off of here, and then we can get these new guys installed. Oh, I love these Vanquish drivers. That bearing on the end makes it so nice. Even when it's just sitting on the table, that bearing sitting on the table like that and you're at an angle, it makes it spin so nice. It doesn't wear out your hands as quickly. You can get things done. Because like I told you guys before, I don't really like using power tools, and I thought about using power tools in this too, and I was like, nope, we're not going to do that. We're just going to be patient and just do with the hand tools. So there you go. There's the insides. Pull that little guy out. We'll put him over here. Pull this one out. Because again, you can see just the difference between the two, just the thickness between. And take and put the new guy in there. Ooh, what is that? Okay, thought there was a piece of metal there for a second. And it's really just that easy. This might be the fun part. I mean, that double knuckle wants to kind of like waddle around a little bit. And you gotta try and find it. Oh, it caught it. It caught it. Cool. Let me make it all the way in there so I can get this back together. Come on. There you go. There you go. Am I doing it wrong? That's the wrong side. Nope, it's not all the way in. Nope, it's not all the way in. It was catching the gear, but it's not all the way in. Okay, so we'll fiddle with that here in a minute. Excuse me. So what I want to do doesn't really have any grease in there. There's some grease on there. And we'll transfer some of that over. If they'll fit together. Will they mesh together enough that I can transfer some over? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, get a little bit. That'll smear around. Should already have my banquet grease out here so I can do this properly. That'll be all right for right now, though. The bearing's already in there, so we can set that down into there. Pull our bearing off of there. Set her down. I don't see where... There's no O-rings in here. So I don't see where the O-rings are supposed to be going. So... Anyways. Let's finish throwing this puppy together here. Yep, that's what I was thinking. This was going to be the fun part because of this joint here is not going to allow me to get a good solid push to get get that slid back into the bearing. Shoot. Let's see if this side here will cooperate a little bit more. Probably not. A little bit. Oh, 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 there it went. There it went. Get one of these kids started. Oh no. Okay. Well, that might start frustrating me after a second here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the cover on. Get you all set back down in here. Pop. Back that off. I don't want to tighten everybody down just yet. I want to get everybody just started. And then just because it's just me. I like to pattern tighten, which I'm sure it's probably not necessary, especially something this tiny. Oops. Nope, it's pretty good. Now, I ain't going to put the top ones in because those are for mounting the servo anyways. I don't need to put those in until I put the servo plate back on. So now, let's see if we can do this again. That goes to that side. Oh. Well, it seems like it might have to have the cover off in order to get that gear lined up. Because I was able to pull on the gear, there it went. And that should line it up for the other side, because that'll square it up in the hole. As long as I can keep this in place until I can get the screw and bushing in there. Oh, this thing's being magnetized doesn't help in some situations. Some situations it does, and then others it does not. There we go. Yeah, it's it. Whew. I think I got lucky on that one. I'm pretty sure that was almost pure luck. That's not supposed to happen that way when you're trying to film stuff. It's supposed to get all screwed up, and you do 15 takes. All right. Now, let's fish this side in. I did put it in there right. Yeah, it probably would have been easier to do if I had taken the drive line completely out of the knuckle. Let's do it that way. Since we have this guy right here, let's just do that. See if it makes it a little bit easier. Makes the video longer. But it's part of the learning process. That way you know. And I'll know for later. See, there's an O-ring on here too, so it might be, these may be replacing these to, but these haven't been run that much yet, so. Let's see. Whoa. Breeze attack. Nope. Oh, there we go. That's in. Put that back on there. Oh, I just pulled it out. Dang it. There, fell back in. Good. Put the knuckle back on the right direction. Oh, cool. It fell back in. Oh, that's tiny stuff. It is just not that easy to work with. Especially when you got big fumbly hands like me. And my fingers don't like doing this tiny stuff anymore. There we go. Now we got her. Now she ain't going nowhere. Okay. Come on. You can do it. There we are. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, no, we can fix that. I just noticed there is on the old pinion, there is an O-ring right there. I was wondering why this had so much play. So, one does have to go in there. Where did the one go that was out there on that, though? There's only two of them sitting there. Two came in the bag, and there was an extra one, the one that came off of here. No matter. We got two there. We're good. So, let's take our cover off. Dang it. And that's not going to let the axles fall out. They're in place. So that's going to hold the main gear in there. We don't have to worry about that now. It's being held in place. Just like a real car, that is actually holding it in place. So it's not going to go anywhere when you take the diff cover off. Just kind of wiggle it back and forth. And that's what I noticed too with these, because I got the plastic ones. So I wanted to get the plastic ones anyways, just for ease of sliding over rocks instead of anyways. But this is still an aluminum piece. Awesome. Real nice. Move that. Take one of these guys. Stretch it over. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Say, put your bearing back on, and that should take care of that play. Bearing set back down in its hole. Oh yeah, perfect. God, these things run so smooth. They're so easy to turn. The regular ones don't turn that easy. So now, get these guys back down in here. Let go. And you got to be real careful. You got to just feel it, or else you're going to strip out that plastic. Just take it down until you just feel just a tiny bit of resistance and just a little snug. A little baby ugga on there. You don't want to just crank on it, or else you're going to mess something up bad. And then it's just not going to hold together anymore. So then, I don't know where that other one went. Interesting. It's not on there. And there was one behind there, and two came in the bag. There it is. I see it. It's right there. Yeah. We'll put that one back on there. That was the one that was on there. It's interesting that they're using O-rings too. They're not using this like actual shim-shims. But so they want to do it. We're going to do it that way. Set them back in there. Because this doesn't sit down all the way. You can see it pushing back up until you put your wheel on. So you got to be real careful, especially when you're storing these axles, if they're not on a car and you have the hubs on them. That pin is not all the way down in a hole. It's just kind of sitting there on that O-ring, so it's floating. So it's a good idea to put the wheel nut back on there. Of course, you're probably going to put it back on there. See it? It just disappears up into its slot. Just like that. There you go. This one here is overdriven. So, with that, we're going to conclude and get you back over here. I was going to conclude doing that. I'm not going to put you through the agony of me putting it back in. So, it's sitting over here on the jack stand. Ooh, let's back up. Back up. That's better. Sitting over here on the jack stands with its guts kind of hanging out. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to show you before we sign off the transmission and my little modification that I had to do. Back up a little bit more here. There we go. Oops, now I got my finger in the camera. That's not good. So what I had to do, because the plate wouldn't let me tighten down on the dang it, I keep putting my finger in the camera. The spur nut wouldn't let me take the wire and put it across there like it was before. The other one was much flatter. But let's see down in there. Oh yeah, we can do this. The fully machined case, all metal gears in there. Look how pretty that is. Goes right along with all the other red stuff. So I had to cut this edge out. And so you can see it's still there over here. This little piece right here I had to cut out because that's where the wires went, which is fine because it's still underneath the body. It just comes out just a little ways, and then I just wrapped it around up here and then plugged it back in. So it's not going to be so bad. And the body hides it because the body's wide enough that it hides it. Yeah. It's just there in the corner. And up there in the corner. No problem. So there you go. New transmission. Got the overdrive on the front axle. We'll get this puppy back together and we'll do some test driving on it. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. And don't forget, like, subscribe, hit that little ring-a-dingy bell. I can't do this with my hands very well. I can't see what I'm doing. I get glare on the camera and I can't see it. So yeah, just hit the notification bell, like, subscribe, comment, share it, and keep this thing rolling. It's doing really good. Appreciate you guys being here, and we will see you on the next one around. I still got another overdrive to do on the Ecto, and that's going to be coming up. In the meantime, be good, have fun, and see you later. Thanks. Bye.